Welcome to Conversations. I am Muqtada Khan, your host, and today I'm going to talk to you about the civil wars that are brewing in the Democratic Party and the Republican Party in the domestic politics of the United States. The issue of Israel, America's uncritical and unbelievable support for Israel, no matter what it does, even if it does a genocide. Joe Biden, who is sometimes also called as Genocide Joe, used to refer to his ironclad support for Israel, meaning no matter what Israel does, we will support Israel. No matter how many crimes against humanity Israel and its army commits against Palestinians, we will support Israel. That is what ironclad support meant. But suddenly we see that both in the Democratic Party as well as the Republican Party now, there is a divide on the issue of America's uncritical support to Israel. Some MAGA people are upset that even though Donald Trump campaigned on an America First foreign policy, it appears that the foreign policy is Israel First foreign policy. The Democrats, on the other hand, are horrified at the demographic changes that are taking place in their party. Most of the leaders of the Democratic Party have been on the payroll for decades of the Israeli lobby, AIPAC. Many of them, they owe their careers to pro-Israeli billionaires who have given them billions and millions of dollars over their careers. And so they are panicking that the Democratic base is moving away from this Israel First position to New York First in the city of New York, as manifest by the primary victory of Zohran Mamdani against the establishment candidate Andrew Cuomo. And he is an establishment candidate. Andrew Cuomo is a typical Democrat, a corrupt, sexual predator, and beholden to billionaires. That's the Democratic Party in a nutshell to you. Full of corrupt people. This whole Epstein saga is also got to do with a lot of Democrats connected to this whole sexual controversies. And then pro-Israel, taking money from billionaires and ignoring their own people. So what has happened now is that in the Democratic Party, Zohran Mamdani, who is very clearly anti-Zionist, very critical of Israel, has threatened to arrest Netanyahu, the Israeli Prime Minister, if he comes to New York, because unlike the US Senate and the US Congress and the US White House, Mamdani respects international law. And Netanyahu is an internationally wanted criminal. And if he comes to New York, Mamdani said he would arrest him. Well, whether he can or not is a different issue, but his position is very clear. The man is unafraid to assert his anti-Zionist politics, and yet he won easily over an establishment candidate. And so if you look at the data now, over 70% of Democrats have become pro-Palestine. They're very critical of Israel. They are unable, they are shocked at the atrocities that Israel is committing with American money, American weapons, and American diplomatic support in Gaza. So there is this attempt by Democrats to defeat Zohran Mamdani, and so they are bringing the same character back, I should say, Andrew Cuomo, and they're going to throw literally $100 million in an effort to malign and defeat Zohran Mamdani. So it's kind of a civil war inside the Democratic Party. On the right, this whole Epstein saga has really exploded in Trump's face. He's currently in the process of shutting it down. But basically, for several years, lots of right-wing voices, influencers, including J.D. Vance and others, have been arguing that the Democrats have suppressed the evidence that Epstein was running a blackmail racket on behalf of the Israeli government, that he's an Israeli agent, a Mossad person, and he was running a pedophile. I mean, this is typical conspiracy theories that the Democrats are pedophiles, and then Jeffrey Epstein was providing them underage girls. But it became very real when Epstein was first in Florida, sentenced to jail for 13 months. And then later on, he was arrested and again put in jail in 2019. and his associate Maxwell. She was sent to jail for 20 years. So it's not fully, I mean, at least the sex trafficking part was not a conspiracy theory. But the files are closed, and so very prominent voices in the Republican side, like Megyn Kelly and Tucker Carlson, who were stars that made Fox News what it is, these two are now arguing that they want to see the Epstein files. And the reason why the Epstein files are not being released is not because Donald Trump might be on it, is because it is going to expose the connection between Epstein and Mossad. That Epstein was basically blackmailing American leaders. I mean, Tucker Carlson just went like bonkers at the Turning Point Summit, or whatever it's called, TPUSA. And in the TPUSA, there were 7,000 young kids. So he went there and basically made this allegation that Epstein was a Mossad agent. He was blackmailing Americans to make sure that American foreign policy remains Israel first. And he also said, this is very interesting, he said that the dual citizens, those who are American and Israeli citizens, if they have fought for Israel and joined the Israeli army, then they should lose their American citizenship. I think this is a massive assault on the privileges that Israel enjoys in this country, and I think people are going to come after him. But the point that I'm trying to make is that there is a civil war inside the Republican Party with regards to Israel too. And they are really ticked off by this Israel first foreign policy of first the Democrats and now even Donald Trump. There are other things also which are upsetting the MAGA crowd, and one is Donald Trump's U-turn on Ukraine, and they are very unhappy about that too. So right now we seem to see a lot of domestic political turmoil in the United States. There's a civil war in the Democratic Party with the rise of Zohran Mamdani as a possible mayor of New York, and then the rebellion among the MAGA influencers with people like Megyn Kelly and others talking about the whole Epstein saga, where it appears that the Republican establishment, or at least the Trump crowd, Kash Patel, that number two guy, I don't even know his name, Dan Bongino, whatever he's the number two guy in FBI, and Pam Bondi, all of them are just trying to shut down and close these Epstein files. Some say because some of the pedophiles in that list, the client list of Epstein may include friends of Donald Trump or Donald Trump himself. Others say they are doing this basically to protect Israel and hide the role that Israeli government has played. The former Prime Minister of Israel has fully denied this, and there is no evidence, at least in the courts, but it appears that America's relations with Israel are now basically creating rifts within the two parties, both Democrat and Republican. So I will keep an eye on this, and I will keep sharing my views, or at least summarizing these developments for you periodically. So subscribe to Conversations, like this video, press the bell icon, and share this video with your socio-political network. Until next time, I'm your host Muqtada Khan. Take care.